tickle of your time. I me say yeah, okay, me never say go away. Girls like me will not come easy. But me give my one blind, him never too hard for me eyes, yeah. All night long we dancing on the floor, we grinding round and round, we flirting. Let her heard him say him want me jump in the middle, middle. Him want me jump in the middle, middle. Him want me jump in the middle, middle. But be careful where you step, come and slip it when with.
So yeah, it's difficult. You know, like I said, I've been feeling like a bit out of my comfort zone being away from Brick and Lace, and I'm so comfortable there and I'm so used to that role that I play. And now I'm trying to find myself, and I realize it's the human experience, and maybe there's other people who are going through that too. There's so many people who seem like to have it all together and everything. They just know all the answers. That is not me. I'm trying to figure ish out, you know what I mean? And so just so that I can say something and just express it through my music. But it's been challenging, you know. It has been challenging.
On one of your videos on YouTube, you were kind of ranting. I think it was in one of your vlogs. And I like when people rant. That's good, because I tend to rant a lot, even though people on video don't see me rant. But yeah, I do rant. And you were saying, you know, when you want to do something in your life, you're just doing it and you're going all the way out there and you don't even know sometimes why you're doing it and you're being lost in it and you're just going full throttle. I totally understood what you meant, because when I'm doing this, sometimes I am, even before, right before we had this interview, right, because I like to keep it real, right before, I was saying to myself, hey, but do I really have a reason for doing these things? And I was saying to myself, I cannot have this interview now and be kind of depressed. But, you know, you have those moments where you're down, and then you have those moments when you're up, and then you just have to push forward, because at the end of the day, when you're lying down in your bed and you're asking yourself, what are you doing with your life, you have to give yourself an answer, and it has to be something meaningful. Or you probably commit suicide, I guess. Hopefully not.
And that's the thing, and then sometimes I'm wondering if I'm putting too much pressure on myself to find the meaning in it, and so I'm like asking all these questions, and sometimes I have to be like, you need to just chill and have fun. Like, so sometimes I'm like, I just need to do a fun record right now, because these questions that I don't have the answers for, I can't like allow it to overwhelm me. You know what I mean? So I'm just, you know, just trying to stay in a positive space. Sometimes you have to keep things lighter, and sometimes you have to just dive into something without having all the answers and just take a step, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is, I find with Caribbean people, actually, let me not even say Caribbean people. Let me speak about my local perspective here in Barbados. I find that with Barbadians, we have a million ideas. But as soon as we get the idea, you know, there's that roadblock. What if this happens? What if that happens? And then you know what happens? Nothing happens, because you just sit down and worry too much. And I find that we see these Caribbean people who are out there doing something like you, and you're wondering, how did they get there? But many people don't see the struggles that it took to get there in the first place. You know what I mean? How about you give us some insight into the struggles that got you to where you are today?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It has been a journey for me. This whole, you know, at the start of 2013, that's when I decided to go solo. And I remember being very excited about it, and it felt like the right decision. It felt like fate led me there. Nyla and I were clashing a lot, and it just felt like we needed some space. We're grown women. You know, it felt like, okay, you know what? It's time to kind of take a break professionally and just get in my own zone. But then, like, fear came in, you know what I mean? And it felt like I was literally going up a roller coaster, and you know, you're excited, but then you're like, what the heck am I doing on this thing? You know what I mean? So it's been like that for me. It's been like a journey. It's been the excitement, the kind of adventure aspect of it. And then you're worrying, you know what I mean? You're like, oh my gosh, suppose people don't like me as a solo. I'm not as interesting as a solo artist, or who do I need to be now? You know what I mean? Am I just the edgy one? But sometimes I feel girly too, and I'm not always the ragga one. And I'm like, but people, you know what I mean? Like constantly doubting yourself. And I'm like, okay, I'm too philosophical sometimes. I do get like this, but I do feel like it's important for me to share it, like, with anybody who may be going through the same thing and thinks that it's all perfect. And you know, also everything is on me now. A lot of the things, I still have help, I still have producers and manager, thank God, but creatively, the vision and everything, there's so much more on me now. So you really want to get it right. But sometimes you just, like I said, have to let it go and just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah,
Literally.
I totally agree. And just now you said you're too philosophical. I would say to you that there's nothing wrong with being philosophical at all. You need to have a deep philosophy behind whatever you're doing, no matter what it is, even if it's cooking food, you know. I hopefully you're
Yeah,
putting love in your food so it tastes good. Because if you don't
that's
put love in
very
your food, it
true.
tastes really bad.
That's so true. Oh my, and one thing can like set you off. You know, you're cooking and you start with a great energy, and then you get a, bad news or whatever, and it can throw your whole meal off, So you do have to try to stay in that state of positivity and gratitude, and just remind yourself that, sometimes it's really not that serious, and you just have to let go and have fun. That's what I am really trying to learn, that it's not always that serious.
When I said to myself, hey, I'm getting this interview, I said to myself, I need to ask you this question. You know, lately, well, a few weeks ago, we had the Miss Universe pageant. Was that the Miss Universe or Miss World? Can't remember. I think it's Miss Universe, yeah.
Hmm.
And Jamaica was asked a question about what's Jamaica's greatest contribution to the world. And many people were saying she didn't give the right answer, and the answer could have been better, or what's not. So I'm going to give you your chance to tell me what's Jamaica's greatest contribution to the world.
Oh my God. I think everybody's just doing this. Nobody knows what it's like to be up there in front of the whole world with everybody watching you, with the whole of your country watching you, the rest of the world. It's like the girl was obviously nervous, and I think she had a good answer. Bob Marley, reggae music, Usain Bolt. Those are some of the most well-known contributions that are easily recognizable to the average person just watching. I mean, this girl is not going to sit there and give a whole half an hour explanation of what Jamaica has done, but the most recognizable things, the most quickest notable things that she grabbed for in that moment of severe nerves was Bob Marley and Usain Bolt, who is the fastest man in the world. And I think people are always too overcritical, and let them go up there and then let's see what they say. Haters, haters. She did an excellent job. I love her. I love Casey. So yeah, I think people need to just zip it.
So would that be your answer too, Usain Bolt and Bob Marley, or would you have a different answer?
I think I would have had the same answer in under the circumstances. I think I would have had the same answer. I think we can sit down and talk about more contributions that Jamaica has made. Obviously, there's Marcus Garvey. There's food. I don't think she mentioned food, but our culture on a whole, we're such a small country in Jamaica, and everybody kind of wants to take our swag. Everybody kind of copies our swag. You know what I mean? Everywhere I go in Germany, different places in the world, people want to claim some piece of Jamaica, or oh yeah, my auntie's Jamaica, my great grandma. You know what I mean? So culture
Yeah.
is another thing that I do think we contribute to the world. But I think everybody needs to leave Casey alone. She's the bomb.
Yeah, because when I was just looking at the whole thing and this controversy, which I didn't understand what people were trying to get on about, I was saying to myself, yeah, there are other answers, because I'm a student of political science, right? So, I mean, there are other answers that you could give, like Marcus Garvey, or even deep Rastafarian philosophy, blah, blah, blah. But when you're up there, and you only have a few seconds to answer, you could as well give the most popular answer, the most recognizable answer to people, when you tell somebody about Marcus Garvey, yeah, people may know, but not the whole world is going to know about Marcus Garvey. When you tell people about Rastafarianism, yeah, they're going to know, but they're not going to understand it. You do not have that time to explain it. But when you tell people Bob Marley, they know.
Immediately, she had like 45 seconds. I don't even know how long she had. I mean, come on. Keep it moving. People just like to criticize, and, it's just ridiculous. Let them get a life.
So, what's the circuit that you're running in now? Is this overseas, or are you coming to the Caribbean as well?
What?
What's the circuit you're running in now? Like, where are you performing? Are you just performing overseas, or you're in the Caribbean as well?
I am performing wherever they request Nyanda.
I like it. I like it.
I have fans from so many places. I really do. I have fans like right now. I've been getting mail from China, and I've never been there, so I really want to go. I did Uganda. I have a campaign in Uganda called Reach a Hand. where we visit schools, we talk to young people, teenagers about AIDS and other related topics to teens and how they can contribute in their communities and stuff. So that's important to me. I do go to Africa a lot. I think that's a very special place for me, but also Europe. I did an awards show, the Fun Awards in Amsterdam. So I'm open to traveling. I love to travel. So wherever, is requesting Nyanda, Naya Fire.
But be careful where you step, come and step here when carry me all over the world. Would that tell me anything, just forget in me bed. Promise me all diamonds and pearls.